Hello, it's Doc Mac, and I'm really back. You know, we've been in the last 11, 12 days in Florida visiting our oldest son's family and our three grandchildren. It was so amazing. I mean, it was just great. We had great weather and just hanging out with the grandchildren. I mean, man, if there's a purpose, if there's a purpose, so you want to, get in shape and get healthy. If you have grandchildren, come on. I mean, that's a true purpose. I want to be around, watch them all get married. I'm in my mid 60s, so it's going to be a while, but I'm going to hang around for that, and that's a great purpose to have. And so, but remember, I always talk about that be, do, and have stuff, and being that intention is where it's all at. You can do, and never achieve anything. You have to be it. You have to have that intention. That stuff inside you is what drives you. But anyway. Today I want to talk about something that most of you don't really pay attention to, including myself sometimes. Okay, and you all know that I wrote a book called Hope for Menopause, and there's 4 different strands, and I call them strands so they wrap around like a rope. The H is for hormones, the O is for organic, P is for purification, and E is for enlightenment. And so today we're going to be in the purification strand of the Hope Rope. And I call it Hope Rope because that's what pulls you out of the abyss of menopause. And I know, many of you are sitting there talking about your weight gain and your inability to lose that weight, your sleeping disorders, your anxiety, your depression, your loss of interest for sex, your marked loss of energy, you're losing hair, your skin is aging, you can't handle hot or cold anymore, you're moody, all these different things happen. It's all about the hormones, okay? It's all about the hormones. So anyway, today I'm gonna talk to you about the liver optimization program that's in the first phase. Now remember, there's 3 different phases in Hope. The first one has to do with weight loss. The second one has to do with setting that weight, and the third one has to do finding all the foods that you can eat that doesn't cause a problem. Okay, so there's 3 different diets. There's 3 different hormones. There's the ovarian hormones. There's the thyroid hormones. There's adrenal hormones. But in the purification, in the first strand, it's all about the liver. We want to purify the liver. Now, in my courses that I give to my clients, I have 2 steps in the purification. The first step is all about something that will help you, that will help the liver. Now remember, there's a 2-step, we call it a 2-phase detoxification of the liver. The liver is like a filter that cleans your body. The first phase is like it burns stuff up. Let's say you chewing some gum that has artificial sweeteners in it. That's a toxin, okay? The liver has to get rid of that toxin. So what it does is it burns it up. And then that's phase 1. Phase 1 is burning up the toxin. Phase 2 is about flushing that toxin out of your body, okay? And so today I want to talk about stopping the upstream source of the toxins that get to your liver. And the main thing that you want to do when it comes to the liver is you want to keep your inflammation down. All right. And the one things I see that happens over and over, I did it this last couple of weeks being in Florida. We love going to this place called Caddy's. It's right on the sand on the beach over on Sunset Beach on Treasure Island, and we love that. My children love it. I love it. But it's bar food, and most of the time you have bar food, it's going to be deep fried. All right, it could be really delicious. We all know that. Okay, but when it's deep fried, you're really taking something like a great vegetable and you're kind of messing it up. Okay, and that's a mistake that many of us do is we justify it's a vegetable. Okay, it's a vegetable, so can't be that bad, right? Okay, well, when you deep fry it, you're ending up with a Franken vegetable. Okay, it's really screwing it up. Now, my son's favorite restaurant is Red Robin. Okay, now he loves going there for his birthday. He loves that spicy hamburger there they have there. I can't remember what it's called. Some flaming lovin' and something like that. So anyway. Every time we go there for a birthday party, there's always a couple, 2, 3 stacks of onion rings. Now, let's look at those. Now, of my day, my birthdays back, I haven't been there for maybe a couple of decades, was the Outback. I love going to the Outback and getting me a bloomin' onion. Oh my God, remember those? Okay. So what ends up happening is we'll have that bloomin' onion or those onion rings, and we look at it like a small cheat. And I need you to quit thinking of it as a small cheat, okay? Because it's not. it's a very large cheat. Now, first of all, if you're not on our program, those that are on the program know that we're almost all their inflammation comes from our carbs, and everybody's different. Everybody has different carbs that they might be. It might be garlic with one person, it might be mushrooms with another person, it might be tomatoes with another person. But that's usually a carb that they have sensitivities to. Now, if you have a sensitivity, that means you have an antibody made against that food, and every time you eat it, you get inflammation. Then it's usually going to be a food you eat quite often, so you end up with chronic inflammation. Okay. So you're taking the food that you most likely, have more sensitivities to, which is the carbohydrate, right? And what you're doing is you're putting it and you're making it 5-10-fold times worse for you in a sense of sensitivity. Okay, so let's go back to those onion rings. Okay, we're going to take an onion, which is an alum, which I'll teach you in another class about. It's a great liver detoxifier, by the way, because it's full of sulfur. Sulfur helps with glutathione, and glutathione is what helps detoxify the liver. If you don't know what glutathione is, you'll wait for another class for that one too. But glutathione is the mother of all antioxidants. It's really the only antioxidant that gets in your cell. I know I'm going on tangents, but I want you guys to know all this stuff, because I want you in your third act to be able to be playing soccer with your grandkids, doing the stuff, outside with them, wrestling with them like I did all week. So, you want to be around. You want to be around and you want to be healthy. Okay, so let's take that onion. We take that onion. It's a sulfur vegetable, an alum. Okay, it's a great detoxifier. All right. Then what we do is they're going to take all these vegetable oils. And now, if you don't know about vegetable oils, they're probably the third worst food on the planet. They're the first worst food on the planet that is man-made, I think. It's a man-made thing. It doesn't exist. It's processed over and over. Tons of different chemicals are used to make those vegetable oils. They call them vegetable oils, but in reality, they all come from seeds, And so they take that and they have to put that on there first. And then what they do is they put the breadcrumbs on, okay? Now that's pure gluten, guys. Now that's the number 2 worst food on the planet is gluten, okay? We all know this. Thousands of women have gone through our program. I haven't met any that can lose weight eating gluten. Well, maybe one, okay? But it just doesn't happen. Gluten is so inflammatory, and you got to remember, we've done something here. We Frankensteined our gluten. It's Frankengluten, all right? And it hasn't been genetically modified. It's just from interbreeding and making really high gluten grains. In our lifetime, there used to be low gluten wheat, and it doesn't exist anymore. It's extinct, okay? And the reason being is gluten is like a steroid. It makes the wheat really strong, and it makes it grow faster. It makes it grow closer together. It makes it, pest resistant, makes it drought resistant, all kinds of neat stuff. So, that's why they did that. If I was a farmer and I didn't know any better, I probably would have done the same thing. But anyway, this gluten has gotten so pro-inflammatory to our body. Here we are, we're putting an onion, which is great for us, okay, for most of us, because some people have sensitivities to onion. And then you sit there and put the vegetable oils, which are just horrifically pro-inflammatory. Then you're putting the breadcrumbs on it, which is horrifically pro-inflammatory. Okay? And then you're taking that and you're dumping it into really, really hot vegetable oils that are boiling. Okay? And sometimes we're repeatedly using these vegetable oils just over and over and over. Okay, many of the restaurants are. This high temperature takes the vegetable oils, okay, and what it does is it makes trans fats. Now we all know by now trans fat is one of them. It may be the most pro-inflammatory food on the planet. Okay, so all these are just so pro-inflammatory. Okay, so it's making trans fats because the temperature is so high. In fact, when I was doing the research for this, I found out that a couple of these the vegetable oils already have high in trans fat. I thought that I didn't know that happened anymore. But yeah, I think it was canola oil and soybean oil both have trans fats in them. So anyway, so now we dump this onion ring into this vegetable oil that's boiling hot, that's full of trans fats, and then what happens is the onion caramelizes. And when it caramelizes, that turns it into sugar. So now when we eat it, we're getting all these pro-inflammatory foods, and the worst, the worst food on the planet is refined sugar, of course. That's the most pro-inflammatory food there is, and it feeds all the bad bacteria and all that stuff. So now we turn the onion into a sugar. That's going to spike your insulin. And by now, I sure hope you realize that if you want to lose weight, it's all about insulin glucagon. Okay, it's all about it. You've got to know how to play that seesaw game. All right. So in a nutshell, what I'm telling you is that when you sit there and you reach for those onion rings, or you reach for the French fries, you're really just doing a large cheat. It's not a little cheat. Okay. First of all, you're getting a lot of unnecessary calories. Okay. What happens is when you fry those carbs, they lose their water, and it's replaced by those unhealthy vegetable oils. Okay, and so that's not a really good thing. I want to tell you, I brought up French fries. One small potato contains about 90 calories. Okay, has 0 grams of fat. It's about 90 calories of pretty much pure sugar. Okay, then they slice up the potato. Okay, make it into French fries. All right, then they take that small potato that has about 90 to 100 calories in that thing. They throw it into those vegetable oils. It now goes from 90 to 100 calories to 300 to 350 calories with 17 grams of the most pro-inflammatory fats on the food on the planet. Okay, and so again, those trans fats are getting in there, and whenever you have, it's been proven over and over, trans fats are associated with all the chronic diseases: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, strokes, Alzheimer's. All of them are associated with trans fats. That's why they pretty much have banned trans fats. And as I mentioned, soybean and canola oil, they find that they already have 0.6 to 4.2% trans fats in there. So, in summary, okay, if you're eating fried carbs, right, your inflammation is increasing severalfold. And inflammation is going to disrupt your hormones, and it's going to make us gain weight. It's going to take years off our life. Remember, I've told you about that study over and over where they followed 1,000 people that were over 100 years old. Not one of them died of old age. Every one of them died of one of the chronic diseases: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, strokes, or Alzheimer's. All of those source causes are chronic inflammation. So chronic inflammation is what we should all be working at, trying to avoid, okay? Because that's what's going to do us in. It's going to be the inflammation. So, okay, you're going to increase your inflammation when you fry a carb by severalfold, okay? You got the carbohydrates, you got the vegetable oils, you've got the gluten, most likely, if they breaded it. You got the caramelization of it like you do with the onions. And then, the high heat will kill all the good micronutrients in it, wipes them all out. The good stuff that was in the vegetable is no longer any good. And so you get all this imbalance, and you get all this imbalance, you get all this inflammation, you get all these imbalance from hormones. You end up with, you're gaining weight, you get fatty livers, and your mind gets all foggy. So, do me a favor, all right? First of all, realize and I do it. I love those blooming onions back in the day, and I'm known to have I'll definitely have a onion ring. There's a birthday party. Come on, I have justification. So anyway, always when your vegetables, eat your vegetables, either raw or steamed or baked or boiled, and always use the good fats. If you want to lightly fry them, I have no problem with that. So don't use high heat. The good fats are gonna be coconut and avocado, butter and ghee, grass fed, of course. And I love olive oil raw. Just put that on those vegetables, and that will work for you, okay? And then you're adding quality to your life. Now, as you all know, I'm a coach for menopause women. I practiced for 35 years. The last 5 years, I turned this into my career. I found that there wasn't anybody out there helping menopausal women. I dedicated my life to helping you out. And so I'm always offering you a free consultation with me. I spend every Tuesday and Thursday sitting right here talking to women over and over. As you probably know, I talk 45, 50, 55 women a week sometimes. Okay, and so I've been doing this for years and years and years. And if you're having the symptoms that I mentioned earlier, the weight gain and the sleeping problems and the anxiety and the depression and the loss of energy, talk to me, okay? And talk to me. I will explain to you the HOPE protocol. All three phases, I'll explain that to you. All four strands, I'll explain that to you. And you got to remember, all successful people nowadays have a coach. I have three. Okay, we need coaches. We need guidance. We need customization. We need someone that knows something about it. Again, I'm always, every single day, I do nothing else but help menopausal women climb out of the abyss of the menopause symptoms. And so if you haven't talked to me yet, talk to me. And we'll talk about one-on-one coaching. It's not easy to climb yourself out of the abyss. So you have to be ready. You have to be down there saying, I'm done with this. I'm tired of this. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to live this way. I'm going to get me back. I'm going to quit pretending that I'm normal. If you're there, talk to me. All right? We'll talk about our coaching program. And we'll talk about how you can be successful on it. Because the only way I found to be successful when you're in menopause is through daily communication with me. And the reason being is, one, is it keeps you accountable, but two, we're all different. We'll have different hormones, different chemistries, different personalities, different food likes and dislikes, different schedules. So we have to customize and design the program for you to get you back. So when you're ready to get you back, spend an hour. It's going to take 45 minutes to an hour of this just talking. And it doesn't cost you anything, okay? Except your time. So therefore, it's my time too. So make sure, that you have non-interrupted time. Okay, I don't want you doing the dishes while you're trying to talk to me about this, but I want you in a room, in a chair, sitting down where you can actually talk about what's going on in your life. So I can explain to you and have the time to tell you how to get out of this. Okay, so go down there and click the schedule button, and we'll talk. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm here doing nothing but talking to you. God bless you.